With the pre-patch launching on the 30th of April, I thought I would make a little guide on how to get gear insanely fast for those returning players on a freshly boosted toon or people simply looking to re-roll. It's actually very easy to get an average item level of 260, which will be more than good enough to speed up your leveling for when Cataclysm does finally launch. I know it's not essential to have amazing gear running into Cataclysm. I mean, the quests themselves at level 80 give 272 item level gear. I wouldn't stress about getting full ICC 25 man heroic gear, but it's best to not suck for those first few quests, especially if you're grinding dungeons, because you will have less access to as much gear. And let's be real, the boosted gear absolutely sucks. Now before you do anything, if you're watching this before the pre-patch's launch, it's important to prepare the currency that you need to get this gear, and that's honor points. Make sure you're capped on honor points before the pre-patch launches. In Cata, currency is totally revamped. The cap on honor is now 4k. If we go over currency conversion from the original Cata launch, it will be 75,000, which is the honor cap, times by 0.024, which will unfortunately only net you 1,800 honor. Probably only enough to buy 1 and 2 gear pieces. Which is why the best strategy right now is to prepare Stonekeeper shards to turn them into Wintergrass Marks of Honor. Wintergrass Marks of Honor can be used after the pre-patch to grant you a lot more honor. Remember, these are actually account wise, so if you have Stonekeeper shards lying around on your alt, buy a load of these marks and get them pulled up. Now we're going to be purchasing the Wrathful PvP gear with honor. Trust me, although PvP gear isn't ideal for PvE, it's the biggest power creep you can achieve from as little time. And this can leapfrog you into Gamma dungeons and raids. Although Blizzard haven't confirmed this gear will be purchasable with honor, it's how it did work at the end of Classic and TBC, and how it did in the original Cataclysm, so I would be surprised if they didn't include this. If for whatever reason it doesn't work, you can still get the Relentless gear anyway. There might be, however, an arena rating restriction on the weapon, but there's a simple solution to that. Now by far the fastest way to level up in Cataclysm Classic is with a solid step-by-step leveling guide. Luckily Rested XP has got your back. The world record holding speed levelers have been working on the fastest route for months now. The guide is ready for a pre-order. I'd really appreciate it if you checked out the link in the description because it really supports this channel more than you could think. By the way guys, I've just made a Cataclysm pre-quest stacking guide. It will get you to level 81 before you even hit the Cataclysm zones. This way you can go and hit Uldum or Stonecore to get ahead of everyone. And don't worry if you're leveling on a fresh character because I've got you covered too. To get the guide, just subscribe to the channel, check out my channel page and you'll see it in the description of my subscriber only video. So now you're decked out in PvP gear, what's the best thing to do next? Well, the first thing you're going to want is a weapon. The item level score is so bad on the boosted gear that you may actually struggle to get yourself into Gamma dungeons as it does now have an item level requirement. So you want to queue yourself into Forge of Souls, Pit of Sauron, Halls of Reflection to get yourself a weapon. These reward 232 gear. If you don't get anything from those dungeons, queue Trial of the Crusader also. Hopefully we will just be able to purchase the Wrathful weapons with honor, and therefore honestly the best thing to do is just mindlessly grind Battlegrounds and Wintergrass, making sure to do all of the quests in Wintergrasp. These reward honor but also reward you marks of Wintergrass, which can be turned into the commendations, which obviously can also be turned into even more honor. For returning players who don't know, you can queue Gamma dungeons now in the Dungeon Finder, which are more difficult versions of the original heroic dungeons. The gear in here honestly won't be better than your PvP gear or the weapons that you can get from Forge of Souls, Pit of Sauron and Halls of Reflection, but we do want to farm the Scourge Stones, particularly for the trinkets, because that will be the best trinket that you can get. The currency vendor for these is where all the others are in Dalaran. You'll be able to get good weapons and trinket upgrades, and the trinkets will be even better than the PvP ones. You can also downgrade the Scourge Stones into Sidriel Essences if there's something better on that vendor. From here you can do raids to get better gear, but honestly your time would be better spent making gold and leveling up your professions, particularly for a returning player. Professions provide a big DPS boost in Cataclysm, and you can easily do gold flips on the auction house in order to afford all of your weekly raid consumes. Feel free to do some raids, but only do it for fun. You don't need to deck a character out in full 25 man heroic gear unless you're going to be doing the world first race to level 85. Bear in mind that by the time you hit Uldum and Stonecore, the quest will start rewarding item level 312 gear. The power spike of the Cataclysm expansion is much bigger than previous expansions, trust me. But anyway guys, until my next video, my name is MetaGoblin, ciao.